Hello beautiful people, today is 8th of September. My name is Sahil and welcome to the newspaper analysis. Guys, today into the GS Fodder, we will take a quote from the great Shri APJ Abdul Kalam. He had talked about the duty. He says, if you salute your duty, you need not salute anybody. But if you pollute your duty, you have to salute everybody. Guys, into Indian traditional wisdom, it has been said that duty is the dharma, and the one who follows his dharma has not to fear anybody. So guys, duty without any fear or favor needs to be the driving force for we as the civil servants also. So guys, into our GS paper number 4, duties has been mentioned. So please utilize this particular quote into the ethics paper number 4. So guys, that's it, and now let's take the newspaper analysis.
Now friends, let's have an overview of the entire newspaper first. Now here we can see that government had talked about the new education policy, as in this particular respect governors conference is being held. So in that particular respect we'll see the issues. Then guys, here we can see that DRDO has tested the hypersonic cruise vehicle, and in this particular respect with the science and tech angle we'll see what has happened. Then here we can see that villagers are set to join mobile highway. So guys, here into the context of Swabhiman Achal we'll see this particular mapping entry. Then moving forward into the city section, only the news with respect to the COVID etc. has been given, not important for our exam. Then guys, here we can see that it has been said by the Supreme Court that why the disinfectant tunnels are still being recommended. According to Supreme Court, there is no logical rationale to continue such kind of disinfectant tunnels, as they had not shown any impact onto the organic substances. Moreover, it is not good into for the health of the human beings also. So therefore, they should not be continued. Then guys, next we'll move to the editorial page. Now this particular editorial talks about the rising number of COVID-19 cases into the India. However guys, with that particular respect, we don't need to actually look into this particular article, as these things will tend to change. Then guys, this particular article talks as how the ruling government has used all the excuses just to boast their kind of right-wing propaganda. Here they had said that the government has failed to contain the crisis at the LAC, nor they have given any information to the people. However guys, it is having a political inclination, not important for our exam. Then this particular article talks about the Naga conflict. We'll see with respect to the GS3 as well as 1. This article talks about the new problem that is coming into the Brexit deal. So guys, the entire issue will trace here. Then guys, this particular article talks about the Bihar elections, not at all important for our paper. Then this article talks about the youth policy that government should bring in order to reap the demographic dividend. So we'll see into the entirety. Then guys, moving forward, so here into the regional section, the news with respect to the elections etc. has been given, not important for our exam. Then guys, here we can see that the Supreme Court has asked the government to explain the steps that they have taken for the elderly people, particularly who are living into the isolation. So guys, as if something comes into this particular regard, we'll see this thing, but as a one-liner concept, you can see that how the judiciary is actively propagating the concerns for the elderly people. Then moving forward, here the showcase page, not usually important for our exam, but guys, today just a one-liner concept, bio bubble has been mentioned here. Now what does this bio bubble mean? Now it has been said that during the time of the pandemic, the cricket matches, they have resumed. So how they are resuming? Every person who is entering onto the field, be it the cricketer or be it any other person, he is being extensively tested for the COVID-19, and his entire health record is being seen, so that no person who is infected enters into the field. So in such a way, a kind of a bio bubble is being made, and in such way the new normal will be into the times to come. Guys, with respect to the aviation also, we had seen the concept of the air bubble, where the countries which are having the similar kind of isolation testing regimes, they will start the flight. So guys, just please keep it into your mind. Then moving forward, onto the world's page, here we can see that the Brexit pact, how it is being threatened, it has been mentioned. Then guys, moving forward here, the Raghuram Rajan has said that the economy needs some urgent interventions, and in this particular respect, certain suggestions have also been given. So we'll see this thing. Other corporate news, not important for our exam. Then onto the sports page also, we can see that nothing important has been given. So guys, that's it. And now we'll take the newspaper analysis in detail.
Now guys, Taking up the first news, so this particular news pertains to the successful test launch of the hypersonic cruise vehicle by India. Now this particular news is very relevant to our GS paper number 3, where the indigenization of defense has been talked about. Now guys, before going into this particular news, first of all, some background basic information. See, whenever we talk about the speed of any flying entity or a flying aircraft, we give the reference of the Mach. Now Mach is in correspondence to the speed of the sound. So any object flying at 1 Mach, it means it is flying at the speed of the sound. More than 1 Mach, more than the speed of the sound, and conversely, less than 1 Mach happens to be less than the speed of the sound. Now guys, there could be subsonic vehicles which fly at less than 1 Mach. Okay, then there could be the transsonic vehicles flying at 1 Mach, that is equivalent to the speed of the sound. Then there could be the supersonic. Supersonic are more than 1 Mach. And then finally there are the hypersonic, which flies at more than 5 Mach. It means minimum 5 times more than the speed of the sound. Now guys, coming to our news. So what has happened? DRDO has test launched the hypersonic technology demonstrator vehicle. They had made a vehicle which can fly at the speed of the hypersonic. So this particular vehicle which has been tested, it has registered the speed of the 6 Mach. Now guys, this test launch was carried, and into this particular vehicle the Agni missile was integrated, and therefore it has been said that into the times to come, our missiles, all our the missiles which we have developed into the integrated missile development program, as well as new missiles that we are developing, they will have a capability that they can fly at the speed of the hypersonic more than 5 Machs. And this particular thing will help to empower India. And from Atmanirbhar, now we are saying that we are also moving towards the Sashakt Bharat. Now guys, as we are talking about this hypersonic vehicle, into this particular vehicle, what type of engine has been used? So scramjet engine has been used here. Now guys, such scramjet engines which are utilized, they also have the utilization into the spacecrafts as well as into the civil aviation along with the defense, for which it has now been tested. Now guys, as we are talking about the scramjet, with respect to the science and tech, some basic points. Now friends, in any type of kind of engine, there is the fuel. Fuel carries the combustion, and due to that combustion, the power, the thrust is provided to the engine, and that thrust helps into the movement. Okay. Now guys, into the vehicles which are running at the land, they uses the oxygen which is prevalent into the atmosphere, and by that oxygen the combustion is sustained into the engines. However, the objects which fly into the air, they have to worry about the oxygen, because many a times when they will go higher into the space, there will be no oxygen. So therefore, many a times the vehicles which are predominantly destined to the space, they carry a separate oxidizer along with them. Now guys, this oxidizer has a particular problem, that it increases the weight, and because of that the thrust is limited, as well as the additional payload carrying capacity also reduces. Now guys, what happens into the ramjet or the scramjet engine? Now these engines are those which don't have a separate oxidizer. Rather, they will utilize whatever trace oxygen is there into the environment. Now first of all, because they don't need to carry a separate oxidizer, the weight will be reduced, the thrust will be enhanced. Secondly guys, these ramjet or scramjet engines, they are called as the air breathing engines. Now what is this air breathing engine? See, when there will be the forward movement of the vehicle, then there will be the pressure which will be exerted by the air onto the vehicle. Now these engines, they will take up that air, they will even compress that air, and then they will exhaust that air with a huge pressure. And now guys, if you remember, third law of the Newton says that for every action there is equal and opposite reaction. So when with the huge pressure the air will be exhausted, then it will provide a counter thrust, and by that counter thrust the vehicle will fly at even more greater speeds. I will just give you one reference. Just assume that you are having a balloon filled with air, and by mistake you were not able to tie the knot of the balloon, and suddenly you just drop it. What happens? The balloon will fly throughout the room. Why? Because the air which is coming out of that balloon is coming with the huge kind of pressure, and that pressure is exerting the balloon to fly into the room. So onto the similar principle, when the scramjet engine, it takes air, compresses air and releases it, that provides the thrust to such engines. Now guys, the two words I am repeatedly using here, that is the ramjet and scramjet. Now scramjet are the advanced version of the scramjet are advanced of the ramjet. Ramjet can fly up to 3 or 4 max, whereas a scramjet can fly more than 5 max, and scramjets don't have the problem of the heating which was there into the ramjet. Now guys, so this is particularly engine technology which has been utilized. Now guys, as I have told you that the technology demonstrator vehicle it was, then it has also utilized the Agni missile which was used. Now guys, into this particular way, our missile deployment capabilities will also enhanced too much. Now guys, as with respect to the launch has been carried from the Abdul Kalam Island which is located near the coast of the Odisha. And as we are talking about the Abdul Kalam Island, some other locations are also there. For example, here is the Chandipur. Now Chandipur question has been asked into the UPSC. It is a location where every day the water recedes up to the 5 kilometer. Why? Because of the low tide. Then guys, there is also the Gihir Matha Marine Wildlife Sanctuary. So Gihir Matha Wildlife Sanctuary is the one which is very famous for the olive ridley turtle. It is one of the largest site of the world for the olive ridley turtle. So guys, this is also the mapping where this particular test has happened. So guys, this particular thing could be utilized into your prelims exam as well as mains exam. So that's it. Now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article pertains to the national education policy on which the government has given certain viewpoints. Now guys, just for some background, right now we are having the new education policy of 1986 which was amended in 1992. However, as the times have changed, we need a new education policy, and for that particular thing, government constituted the TSR Subramaniam Committee as well as the Kasturi Rangan Committee. And apart from them, there are other academicians also whose inputs were taken, and on all that basis, just now government has released the new education policy 2020 which will come into effect into the times to come. Now guys, for this particular NEP, now the feedback of the various stakeholders are being asked, and in that particular direction, governors conference has been convened. Now this particular governors conference will also be attended by the state education ministers as well as by the vice chancellors of the central universities. Now guys, before going into the news, first of all, why governors conference? Because a point for polity, governor happens to be the chancellor of all the universities into the state. So therefore governor has been included here. Now guys, one more thing, governor himself is the chancellor of the state university, and he also appoints the vice chancellor of the universities. Now guys, it has been said by the prime minister that all the stakeholders should be given the due importance. Parents, everybody who is involved with the education should be consulted, and his opinions should be reflected into the new education policy. It has been said that education policy is like the foreign policy or the defense policy of a nation, which doesn't belong to the ruling government, rather it belongs to the entire nation. Therefore, it has been said that the extensive feedback is required in such kind of things. Now guys, into the past few days, we had seen that many issues with respect to the NEP has come. For example, there is the problem into the 3-language formula, which we had even talked yesterday. Then there is the issues with respect to the medium of instruction. It has been said that up to 5th standard, or if possible, then up to 8th standard, medium of instruction should be mother tongue or the local language. But what about the Kendriya Vidyalayas, where the children from all the India are coming because they were made for the employees of the central government, and as central government employees are into the transferable jobs, there whenever they come to a new location, they bring their children and they put them into the Kendriya Vidalayas. So into Kendriya Vidyalaya there are large number of students speaking the different languages. How one language will be utilized there. Then blue collarization, it has been said that after 6th standard the students will be taught a skill. It has been said that such kind of thing will lead to blue collarization. Children will leave the education after learning that skill and they will just go into some kind of employment. So there are certain issues, and therefore it has been said that such issues will be resolved amicably by taking the inputs from all. Further guys, it has also been said that by the president, he was also there, president had said that Indian universities need to increase the investment into the research and innovation. Right now 0.7% of GDP is being utilized in research and innovation. It needs to extend at least to nearly to the level of 2.8%, which is being conducted by the USA, and 4.3% which is being done by the Israel. So in such vicinity we need to bring it that if India wants to be aligned with the developed nations of the world. So guys, this all has been said here. Now this particular thing you can also utilize into an example as how this particular body can also be a body to enhance the federalism, because education, you know, is a very important issue, and on education the consensus is needed. So therefore it could be an example of the initiative to further improve the federalism between the center and the state. So guys, that's all about this particular article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now friends, this particular news mentions about a location which has been frequented into the news so many times. The news says Odisha villagers are set to join mobile highway. Now, what is the location and what has happened? So guys, here please pay attention. This is the Odisha, this is the Andhra Pradesh, and onto the juncture of Odisha and Andhra Pradesh, in Odisha Malkangiri district is there, and into the Malkangiri there is one small region which is called as the cutoff zone. Now why this region was called as cutoff zone? Because from three sides it was studded with the land, and on one side there was the inaccessible terrain of the mountains, and because of this it was very difficult to reach the region, and therefore Maoists had made the region as their hotbed and had denied any kind of development into the region. Now guys, just in 2018 the Odisha government, they made the Guru Priya bridge which connected the mainland Odisha with the cutoff zone, and this particular name, the region has been given a new name, that is the Swabhiman Achal. Is it clear? Now into this particular news, the Swabhiman Achal has been mentioned, where now for the first time since the independence mobile connectivity is coming. So now the 4G internet as well as voice mobile connectivity will come into the region. Now guys, this particular news is very important with respect to the mapping in prelims, as well as what government is doing with respect to bringing development into the regions which are inflicted with the internal security challenge. So this was one such region which was having the problem of the left wing extremism, and if a question comes you can give a reference of the Swabhiman Achal. So guys, that's all about this particular article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article mentions about the problems that are right now coming into the Brexit deal. This particular thing can be an important article for our GS paper number 2, international issues. Now taking up this entire article, first of all here I have clubbed two articles, one from the editorial section and one from the world page. Now taking up the news. Guys, first of all, very basic information. You all might have heard the name Brexit, which means the Britain's exit from the European Union. Now Britain has decided this because they had thought that economic gains as well as a sovereignty has not been respected when Britain was the part of the European Union, and this is a kind of a divorce agreement which is going on. Now guys, in July 2016 even the Britain carried a referendum to ask their people that whether such exit should be made or not, and there nearly 52% people voted into the favor of the Brexit. So therefore the exit arrangements have been made. Now guys, since 2016 and 17 till now the arrangements were being made, but these arrangements were little bit delayed because article 50 was not able to be invoked fully. What is article 50? Article 50 is a clause into the Treaty of European Union which provides any member a chance that if he wants it can leave the union. So this particular clause was to be invoked, but from 2017 onwards there was the hung assembly into the UK, and because of that hung assembly the unanimous decision was not being able to be taken on this particular thing. Moreover, the enabling legislation was also to be finalized in this particular thing, but because of the hung parliament there were the problem. However guys, finally on 31st January this year 2020 the Brexit has happened, and it has been said that up to 31st December 2020 this entire year will be the time of the transition where the future agreement between the Britain as well as the European Union will be finalized. So guys, this is happening now. Now what will be into the future relationships there? The free trade agreement will be there or not? Then it has also been said that there needs to be no hard borders between the Ireland, the Northern Ireland, and the other Republic of Ireland. Now guys, here if you pay attention you can see the map of the Great Britain. Now this particular zone, it is the Northern Ireland. Now Northern Ireland is the part of the UK, whereas the Republic of Ireland is not the part of the UK, rather it is the part of the European Union. Now guys, they both have always been aligned very closely to each other. So how their relations need to be carried? So it has been said that there needs to be no hard borders, there should be no physical checks, there should be the earlier type arrangement only, and in this particular respect the Northern Ireland should be given some kind of special treatment. So guys, into this particular transition zone the North Ireland Protocol was also needed to be signed, which talked about the trade relaxation for one particular region. Okay guys, so this is the background information. Now as all these things were going on, there were one particular section which were called as the hard Brexiteers. Hard Brexiteers, they said that there should be clear cut severing of the ties, there should be no relation, and we should go to a plane where we both exist as a separate entity. And they always have a problem with this North Ireland Protocol. They say that in this particular respect UK's sovereignty will be compromised because they still will be under the obligation, and therefore they say that no such differential treatment needs to be given. Now guys, what has happened? Just now the UK they had said that October 15, 2020 will be a deadline within which the entire arrangement between the UK and EU needs to be finalized. It has been said that if the date is breached, we will not have any deal. Now guys, here this a point is coming that by putting a 15 October deadline, what is being done? A kind of a just you can say a kind of a passage is being given to the hard Brexiteers that their wishes have been fulfilled, because it is not possible that into such kind of time the entire deal could be finalized, because the issues such as the workers' right, the issues such as the environment, state aid to business, all such big issues have not been resolved. So it might not be possible that within few days the entire deal should be finalized. Now guys, not only this particular thing has been done, rather one more step has been taken by the Britain. They had introduced new internal market bill. Now this new internal market bill, it has a provision that it will override all the concessions which were given into the Northern Ireland Protocol to the region of Ireland, Northern Ireland, and it will just be reverting or overriding all the things which has been done. So guys, this particular thing has again been criticized, and it has been said that again the hard Brexiteer policy is being followed by the UK, and this particular thing will not be into the interest of the people. Now guys, it has been said that such thing has just been done in order to divert the attention of the people from the pandemic crisis which has been there onto the Britain, and therefore it is picking up the nationalistic flag. All the countries are now just raising the nationalistic issues to divert the attention. Now guys, in this particular direction, it has been said that now the countries should come together and should try to find a way in which again such kind of again such a big treaty or such a big thing doesn't falls into some kind of problem. So guys, this entire issue has been talked here. I hope you have understood it or it all, and into the times to come we need to see that how this particular matter will be evolving. However, by the time your mains exam will happen, the 15 October deadline would have been passed, and we will get to know that actually how this particular matter will be unfolding. So guys, that's all about this particular issue, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article pertains to the Naga conflict that is going on. Now this particular article is important with respect to the GS paper number 1, the issues of regionalism, as well as GS paper number 3, internal security, because in internal security the insurgency in Northeast happens to be an important topic. Now guys, as we are talking about the Naga crisis, first of all, it is not only the crisis of the Nagaland. Now this particular crisis is the issue where the Naga tribes, they want a separate homeland where their identity could be reflected. And when I have used the word Naga, you need to understand that it is not the one tribe, rather it is a group of large number of tribes which are having the similar ethnicity. Within the Nagas, there are 19 major tribal groups such as the Aos, Changs, Kabuis, and various other minor groups are also there. Now guys, since the time of the Britishers, the Naga nationalism is going on there, where they want that all the Naga tribes should live into a land for the Nagas, that is Naga limb. Now guys, as with respect to the Naga nationalism, in 1918 the Naga club was formed which wanted that such a Naga limb needs to be made. Then guys, as we passed then in 1946, the A.Z. Fizo, the great the revolutionary leader of the Nagas, he formed the Naga National Council. And guys, the goal of the Naga National Council was to have a Naga limb. Now, if we see into the present times, such Naga limb, it is just overlapping the region of Assam. It is overlapping over the region of Manipur, Arunachal Pradesh, Myanmar, as well as some of the regions of the China also. Now guys, just before one day of our independence, that is on 14th of August 1947, the Naga leaders also declared the independence of the Nagaland, and in 1951 even held the referendum to just show the legitimacy of the Nagaland as a separate autonomous region. However guys, this was also the time when Indian government was focusing on to the consolidation of the nation and was not ready to give any such kind of autonomy to the Nagaland or any such region. Guys, therefore, in order to gain the independence, the Nagas, they started an insurgency, a kind of an armed revolution against the government, and the problem of insurgency started into the Nagaland. This particular thing continued, and in 1975, government signed the Shillong Agreement with the NNC. Now, Shillong Agreement was to bring a kind of a peace, but there were certain people within the NNC, that is the Naga National Council, which believed that such peace clause is a betrayal. It should not be there, and therefore there was a kind of a subdivision, and one group further formed from the NNC, that is the NSCN, that is National Socialist Council of Nagaland. However guys, in mean course of time, within NSCN also there were the conflicts, and from NSCN also two organizations were made, that is the NSCN IM stands for Isaac Movia, and NSCN K stands for the Khaplang. So today into the Nagaland. These are the two major factions. Now guys, this NSC and IM is a little bit more accommodative and it is easy to talk with, whereas NSC and K, they are very much revolutionary and they are very much into the kind of violence and such kind of activities. Now with the NSC and IM, one major success was achieved in 1997 when the ceasefire agreement was signed. However guys, after the signing of the ceasefire agreement for next few years, there was nothing development. However, in 2015, a framework agreement has signed between the government and the NSC and IM, where it has been said that a solution to the Naga problem will be found out. Now guys, this particular thing is going on since 2015. Now, into this entire scenario, you need to remember the name of one person, that is Mr. N. Ravi. Now, N. Ravi was the chief interlocutor into this particular process, and in order to speed fast this particular entire agreement, what happened? N. Ravi was even made the governor of Nagaland in 2019, and at that point of time it was thought that now the process will be very much fast. But guys, over the course of few months, from 2019 to 2020, it has been observed that N. Ravi's attitude is a little bit different, and at many times he had made certain statements which are not going in sync with all such kind of arrangement. For example, in 2019, he had said that NSCN is entirely responsible for the delay into the matter. They are procrastinating and their attitude is very much strange. He had said that they are having the imaginary goals with respect to the framework agreement. So therefore, he is trying to bring some new kind of angle here. And guys, if you are following the newspaper analysis regularly, then just few days back we had seen that N. Ravi has even wrote a letter to the CM and Chief Minister of Nagaland and had said that the Nagaland is being run by the armed gangs, and that armed gang was a reference to the NSCN. It has been said that they are running the parallel government, and basically such kind of arrangement is not good. So guys, therefore NSCN is now believing that they are being reduced to a kind of a non-important stakeholder in this particular regard, and therefore NSCN wants that the N. Ravi should be removed from this particular process. Now guys, the NSCN wants this. However, apart from NSCN, there are other political parties also into the Nagaland, and they had made a group, that is the Naga National Political Group, and this NNPG, it wants that N. Ravi should stay. Okay, so therefore a kind of a messy and a kind of a sticky situation has been made into the Nagaland, and into this particular thing it has been said that now it is a point that again Nagaland can slip into a point of some kind of uncertainty. So therefore it has been said that the center government should intervene into this particular arrangement and should make sure that all the due processes of law are followed, and as early as possible the Naga problem should be solved. Now guys, this is not the only problem. Rather, if you remember, I told you about the NSCN-K Khaplang. This particular group doesn't endorses this entire arrangement as a whole. So guys, that is also a separate problem. But for that particular thing, for now, even when we are talking about the political solution, there also the kind of a unanimity is not also being met out. So guys, in this particular direction, the intervention is needed. So that's all about this particular article, and now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article mentions about the importance of youth and how a youth needs to be utilized into the economic development of the nation. Guys, this particular topic can be utilized into the matters of GS paper number 2, where employment related issues are there, as well as in GS paper number 3 as how demographic dividend needs to be focused for the development of a nation. Now guys, we had seen into the past few days that government is repeatedly talking about the Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan, and this Atmanirbhar Bharat Abhiyan will only be successful if you enhance the citizens' capacity. And within the citizens, the most promising section of citizens are the youth. So you need to enhance the youth's capability. Now guys, with respect to the youth, we have the National Youth Policy of 2014, and this particular policy mentions that people into the age group of 15 to 29 years are youth. Such kind of youth, if we take their population percentage, then 27.5% population of India is youth. Okay, so this is the big chunk of population which needs to be addressed. Now guys, when we see the money that the center government is spending onto the youth, for example, the money for their employment, for their health care, for their skill development, then nearly 90,000 crore rupees per year are being spent by the center government. And even if we consider that the same amount of money is also being spent by the state government, then only 1% of GDP is being spent onto the youth development, and seeing 27%, 5% of their population, this money is very much less. And guys, therefore, the World Bank had also said that loss of not investing in youth is 4% of GDP. So how the loss will come? Because simply if you will not upgrade them, they will not be utilized into the workforce, they will not be of any economic value. So therefore, they needs to be invested with resources. Therefore guys, and if I tell you, give you some data into the context of India, the biggest loss comes because of the unemployability. And according to the State of Working India report, the youth unemployment rate in 2018 was 18.3%, which is very much big. This much of youth is not participating into the economic activities. And guys, 33% of skilled youth are there who are unemployed. And according to the Center for Monitoring Indian Economy, it has been said that the 14 crore jobs will be lost due to the lockdown, and further the unemployment problem of the youth will be aggravated. So guys, very good and impressive data has also been given to substantiate the premises which has been provided here. Now guys, hey, therefore, certain way forwards have also been provided. Number one, it has been said that government should focus onto the Indian Youth Guarantee Program. Now, into the Europe, the European Union Youth Guarantee Program is going in 2010, where the government promises the employment guarantee to the youth. So it has been said that India also needs to start such kind of thing. Then guys, it has been said that what happens, government brings the special component plan, for example, special component plan for scheduled caste, tribal sub plans for the tribal, where the devoted funds, devoted attention is given. For youth, nothing such kind of special component plan comes. So therefore, the youth component plan needs to be announced during the time of a budget, and this particular thing should address all the concerns of the youth people in India. Then guys, further it has been said that Indian youth program which we are talking about, it should be a kind of a mission mode project and should have a fixed time frame, that is within what time the youth will get the job the moment they are graduated from their university or college, or the time within which they will get the job the moment they leave one job. So such kind of time frame needs to be there. Then the skill development should be listed, that how the skill will be given, in what time the skill will be given, what quality of skill will be given. So such kind of comprehensive plan we need in India. Moreover guys, it has been said that we also need to monitor this entire situation from time to time, and for that particular monitoring, the Youth Development Index can be utilized. Now, Youth Development Index for India is released, as well as for the global level, United Nations releases the Youth Development Index. So it will tell us the priority areas, the gaps, the alternatives, as well as it will also be a monitoring tool to see that where the development has reached. So guys, in this particular respect, we often talk about the demographic dividend, but demographic dividend, in order to give you benefit, needs to be empowered, and such empowerment is being talked here into this particular article. So guys, that's all about this particular article. Please do utilize it into your exam. So that's it. Now we'll move to the next article. Now guys, this particular article talks about the issues which are going on into the economic scenario of India. Now guys, we had seen that over past few days there are large number of bad news for Indian economy. For example, there we had just few days back we had seen that 23.9% negative GDP growth has been registered, and such kind of growth is worst into the entire world. Even we can take if we compare the countries such as Italy and US, who were the worst impacted, their contraction is also not that much severe. For example, Italy only minus 12.4 and US only minus 9.5%. So India is into a very bad shape. So guys, therefore it has been said by the Raghuram Rajan, the former RBI chief. He had said that the urgent relief measures are needed if government wants to bring back economy onto the track. It has been said that government's strategy of conserving the resources for the future is not good. He had given an analogy that economy is a patient and economic stimulus is a tonic. You need to give the tonic if patient needs to recover, otherwise the tonic given at the wrong time will not be having any impact. So guys, therefore it has been said that fiscal stimulus, money needs to be pumped in economy, but government over the period of time has been very much apprehensive. Government believes that by giving such kind of fiscal stimulus, credit rating agencies will downgrade the India's credit rating and therefore the macroeconomic stability will be further impacted. However, the Raghuram Rajan had said that no, that is not right. If you make adequate safeguard measures, if you show to the credit rating agencies as well as the financial institutions that along with the borrowing money you are also carrying the reforms, then there will be no degrade of the credit ratings. He had suggested certain measures. First of all, he had said that you release the medium term debt reduction target. You take the debt now, but give a clarification that into 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, we will reduce the debt also by this much percentage point. It will give new confidence and therefore there will be no problem. Then guys, it has been said that fiscal viability, that the money which you will be utilizing, how that particular money will be bringing the reform, that you needs to tell to the people. Then guys, it has been said that make an independent fiscal council. So independent fiscal council by the parliamentary law you need to make, which can keep an eye on all the government expenditures. And guys, such independent fiscal council has even been suggested by the 14th Finance Commission. Then it has been said that onto the lines of MG Narega, the youth of India into the urban areas are also needed to be provided the job employment opportunities. So invest into such kind of things. Then guys, it has been said that if not possible, then provide the direct cash transfer to the people into the urban areas, so that by that money they can raise the demand, and by that demand the economic recovery comes into the place. So guys, certain kind of suggestions has been given and a directly ready-made answer has been given to the economic problems. You can directly utilize this particular thing into the articles. So guys, that's all about this particular issue. I hope you have understood it. So that's it, and now we'll move to the question section.
Now guys, please pause the video and try to answer the question. Question number 1 is with respect to the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act. Please read this statement and identify the correct code. Question number 2 is with respect to the concept of the basic structure. Please read this statement and identify the incorrect code. Question number 3 is with respect to the Gangetic dolphin. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. Question number 4 is with respect to the Startup Village Entrepreneurship Program sweep. Please read the statement and identify the correct code. Now guys, the main question for today. So this particular question is with respect to the GS paper number 2. Question says demographic dividend can only be realized by a process of upgrading youth, their skill sets and their capabilities. However, youth development in India has not been given adequate attention. Suggest solutions in this regard. So please write a question and try to provide some dimensions on this particular question. So guys, that's it. I hope you are liking our discussion. Thank you so much.